up? It's Steve from the old Yorkshire Geek, and we're here to review episode 5 of season 1 of Monarch, Legacy of Monsters. This one's called The Way Out, and it's a pretty boring, dull episode. I didn't like it at all. Possibly worse than last week's, because we didn't really get a monster. We saw a bit of Godzilla, but that was about it. So like that, let's just get on with it, shall we? And then we get this over with. We'll just get this over with, because it was terrible. It was terrible. Right, off we go. Let's see, there we go. Yeah, an Apple original. Who cares? Not me. I'm falling out with this show quickly. Like the first few episodes, but the last 2 episodes have just been dull as dishwater. So let's just get on with it. There we go, we begin. Remember, they got arrested by Monarch. Well, not arrested. Rescued by Monarch at the end of the last episode. And now they're being held in this Monarch facility. And there's the lovely Anne, I don't know how to pronounce her name, Sawai, I don't know how to pronounce it. She's from New Zealand, she's not Japanese or American, but she's very lovely. But we learn that she's actually gay in this episode. I'm sorry, I'm not a homophobe or anything, but they keep shoehorning it in, don't they? That's Kentaro getting angry, blah, blah, blah. Opening titles. By the way, one of the executive producers, I bet I can't land on his name. They're going to show us. Not going to show us his bloody name, is it? I forgot to mute it. Come on, show us his name. Got Michael, is it Doherty or Doherty? I don't know how to pronounce his name. Who, gave us great films like Krampus and the other one, Trick or Treat, and then he did. Did he? Which of the Godzilla films did he do? Did he do the good one, the Godzilla versus? No, he didn't. He did the bad one, didn't he? The Godzilla King of Monsters, which was, a terrible film. But there's one of the there we go. Bob Dukes here. Remember him? Consulting producer. He used to do a lot with Stephen Summers. Remember him? Films like Deep Rising, great films like Deep Rising, and the original, not the original, but the Mummy films. He did those, didn't he, with Stephen Summers? Whatever happened to Stephen Summers? The last thing I remember seeing him do was Odd Thomas, that with Anton Yelchin, the late Anton Yelchin. So do they still work together? I've no idea, because I don't know what Stephen Summers is up to. Anyway, so there we go. Just thought I'd bring that up. That's the most interesting part of the episode for me. Right, so this is May. She's fine. Remember, she fell in the freezing cold water. And, she had freezing water sticking to her legs for God knows how many hours. But she's fine, obviously. She's not going to lose any toes or anything. She hadn't even lost any toes. She says, I can still wiggle all my 10 toes. She's fine. So don't let... what was it? Sir Ranulph Fiennes once got his hand in some freezing water on one of his expeditions just for a few seconds, and he ended up losing fingers and stuff. But no, she's fine, because she's a terrible character. I hate May, I do. I think she's awful. They try and... this episode, they tried to bring her around a bit, and then by the end, they just ruin her again. A laptop got all frozen up, and apparently it's useless. They can't get anything off it. It had all the data on, remember, that she digitised from Hiroshi Randa's files. But this woman here, I've forgotten the name, can't remember, the French woman that's working for Monarch with Tim. She says, well, we know that somebody like you will have backed up all your data. On the cloud. She doesn't say the cloud. Maybe that's copyrighted. I don't know. But she says in the ether. Anyway, so there we go. So there, blah, blah, blah. Oh, she leaves her a card. Don't leave any of the others a card, but she leaves her a card with the phone number on. This woman's reappeared. Remember, she was in last week. She came in on a jet, swanning about like she was some big wig, saying they were wasting her time, and then went back on a jet. Now she's back as some minor character. And yeah, I don't know her name because I don't care. She kind of reminds me of her from, I know it's not her, but she was in like Game of Thrones, and she was in the Kenobi series playing that rebel woman who disguised herself as an Imperial officer. and who took out loads of stormtroopers just so easily. But anyway, it reminds me of I can't remember her name. Is it something Varna? I think it's Varna. I'm probably wrong. But it's not her. Right, blah, blah, blah. They're going to let them go. There we go. They let them go. Give them new passports and some money and tickets to Tokyo. But it's all a ruse. Are they tracking them? Don't know, probably. They're in Alaska, by the way. So, there we go. They're in Nome, Alaska. I don't know if it was filmed in Nome, Alaska. Is that an actual image of Nome, Alaska? No idea. But this story, wasn't there, that there were more murders or suicides or something like that in Nome than any other place in America. Something like that. And the FBI have called up there more times than any other, per head of population than any other place, or something like that. Something to do with UFOs and aliens. I don't know. Anyway, so they're at the airport. May's horrible to the poor lady working the desk, the check-in desk. She's horrible to her. Blah, blah, blah. She's a terrible person. They end up going to San Francisco. But they've let them go, but they're holding on to Lee Shaw. And they kind of suggest that... They say he's 90 years old. But they kind of suggest that something's happened to him to make him look a bit younger. Because remember, Kurt Russell's 74 or something like that. So did they find some elixir from the monsters that's made him younger or something? I don't know. Or made him knocked a few years off his age? I don't know. But they kind of suggest that without actually saying it. She's having a talk to him, blah, blah, blah. They don't get on. Don't care. It doesn't really go anywhere. They're still going on about stuff. Right, we're in San Francisco. Here we see the damage from Godzilla and the Mutos fight the year before. Looks cool, I must admit. Right, they've arrived back. I'm not really interested. It's boring. They get picked up by one of Kate's mum's friends, who just happens to be a person that's allowed to go into the restricted area where everything's been destroyed by the monsters. Oh, pardon me. That's all sort of like cordoned off now. You're not allowed in. It's a disaster area. But some people are allowed to go in to pick up, to collect like personal belongings for people, but generally you're not allowed in. That's probably what this map's showing. It's like these red areas where you're not allowed to go. And looters will be shot on sight, etc. So anyway, it's very tall, isn't it? But anyway, so there we go. There he goes. Works for FEMA. Restricted Area Authorization Reclamation Zone. That's what they do. Just happens, luckily for the plot, that's just happens to be what he and Kate's mum does. So here we go. This is like a FEMA neighbourhood that's been set up, with like trailers, turned into homes. People that were, forced out of their houses. This is Kate's mum, Caroline, played by Tamlyn Tomita. Yes, I've just looked her up. I couldn't remember her name, but Tamlyn Tomita. There's been loads of stuff. Karate Kid. I think it's been in Star Trek, The Orville, stuff like that. It's been all over. So here she learns that this is Kentaro, who is, her husband's son from his other family in Japan. So it doesn't go down well. There we go. Blah, blah, blah. Boring. Don't care. Drama. Not interested. They're arguing over it all, Right, so they've to go in. They've to go into what they want to do is go to Hiroshi Randa's office in San Francisco. Remember, they checked his office in Tokyo, which is where they found, the bag from the 70s from Skull Island, with all the information in, which were digitised onto May's computer. So now they want to go and check his other office, see if there's any more stuff there, which is in San Francisco, which happens to be in, let's say, the restricted zone. But luckily, her mum and her mum's perhaps boyfriend can get in to the area. It's guarded by soldiers who may be like National Guard, I don't know, but they're guarded by people in military uniforms, we'll put it that way, who are easily bribed, it seems. So they have to check the back of the truck because they're hiding in there. So in they go, and they're told, right, you've got till 8 in the morning. I don't know why they're doing it at night. I don't know. Is that building work or demolition work going on during the day? I don't know, but they're allowed to go in at night. And they've got to be out by 8 in the morning or something like that. So meet us back here at 8 in the morning. So off they go. That's it. Cool visuals. Cool visuals seeing the destroyed bridge. I did like this bit of the episode where she looks and she sees the bridge, and we remember that's where some of her, she's a teacher, so some of her pupils died in the bus when it went over. She saved some of them, but some of them went down, didn't they, when the bridge collapsed. So here we go. So they've got to go, right. And they're warned, if you're caught by, the military or whatever, that you'll get shot on sight, so to speak, or arrested, but sometimes shot. Oh, they're still talking. Don't care. I can't remember what they're talking about. It's probably really interesting, but, this episode totally bored me. I'm sorry this is a boring review, but it just is. And they're going through the streets, and for some reason Kentaro keeps talking really loudly, and they keep telling him to be quiet, but he keeps talking really loudly, and then he starts singing really loudly. I say cool visuals. Keeps singing really loudly, and it just gets on my nerves. And then we get to this place, which is like a coffee shop called Ground Zero. Ground Zero. And I thought, is that bad taste or what? I don't know. It's not a funny pun or anything like that. I know grounds, coffee, a hero, but Ground Zero, that particularly in America, you wouldn't think they'd get away with that, would you? And then she starts thinking back, because she wasn't, there we go. G-Day -2, this is from the year before. And this is where we learn that she's gay, and that's her girlfriend there. Massive pride flag, obviously. It's San Francisco. It's when I saw it, I thought, here we go, the shoehorning it in again. I don't know if Anna Soe is actually gay, I've no idea. Don't care. But they've got to shoehorn it in. I'm sorry, it might lose me subscribers, but it just annoys me. It has no real reason for being there, and they say, oh well, if it's not important, why are you bothered? If it's not important, why are you doing it? There's a double argument in it. As I said, it's San Francisco, so the gay capital of the world, so whatever. So here they are, they're going to school, and this bit annoyed me when they get to school. Here we are. We'll learn it's a middle school, so it's like, I don't know, 10-year-old kids up to 12, something like that, innit? I don't know, but younger kids, 10 and up, I suppose. I think in the UK it's something like 8 to 12 or something like that. Middle schools, but they're having some sort of pride celebration, and talking about middle school pride. There's another bloody pride. The steps painted in the pride flag colours. I'm sorry, but leave the kids alone. Don't have the kids learning about this stuff. When they're older, fair enough. In the they're well into the teens, high school and all that. Fair enough. Teach them all, but the kids, leave them be. At this age, I'm sorry, that annoys me as well. But anyway, they get to school and half the kids aren't there. The parents have kept them home because. Remember, Godzilla hasn't arrived yet, but he's on his way. The Hawaii thing's happened, but some people are thinking it's a fake thing, a hoax, and even Kate thinks it might be a prank. But anyway, so cut back to 2015. I keep saying present. I keep thinking present day, but it's not. Anyway, they've arrived. There's the school. But they're going to his office. There she's thinking back again. The kids are going to be evacuated. Obviously, this is not long before they end up on the bridge and all the disaster that happens there. She's going. Her girlfriend's going somewhere else. Does her girlfriend die? Don't know. Don't care. They nearly get caught by soldiers. But there you a cat saves them. So they've got to go to a tall building, because they said he liked a view, did her dad. So they've got to go way up in a tall building. I mean, this is the bit where they're singing really loudly. I'm thinking they're supposed to. They could get shot on sight. You'd be really, really quiet, wouldn't you? Even if there was the slightest risk of that happening, you'd be really, really quiet. You wouldn't be going around singing bloody Japanese nursery rhymes or whatever the hell he's singing. Ta-da! I hated this episode, I did. The worst one. Oh, they're in some sort of subway. I think it's a station, subway station. They nearly get caught again by soldiers, and then she's thinking back. Best bit of Godzilla. Can't go wrong with that. Lasts for seconds. But some other people get caught, so they're distracted, so they use that distraction to escape. Blah, 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 blah. She's thinking back again. Dad, see, we saw that a few episodes ago. This is where we think May is, starting to be a nice person again. But, they undo that. Getting texts, so again, I'm sorry, shoehorning it in. She's been all sad, her girlfriend's dead, another cat. It's all about cats. So they're going up, they get to his office, go up this tall building, get to his office. They can't find any clues. There he finds a photo of Hiroshi Randa with his American family. Remember in Japan he had photos of him with his Japanese family. So obviously some sort of knobhead, isn't he? They think there's going to be like a safe behind a poster he's got on the wall, or a chart he's got on the wall. So he pulls that down. Loads of pin things come flying off as well. I hope the clues weren't in there, because he's pulled that off. But there's no safe. So they wonder what to do, what's going on. But then somebody has an idea. They see the chart, and they see all the wiggly lines on this chart. And she pulls up a map, does May, on a tablet. And somebody has an idea. I think it could be Kentaro. I can't actually bloody remember. Yes, it is. He gets a piece of paper. We see the dawn, his sun's starting to rise. So he has an idea. They put the chart back up, and he just happens to get the... look, it's dead annoying. He puts some pins, he puts the paper on, it's like tracing paper, he puts the paper on the tablet and marks some X's where there's supposedly something's happened. I don't know. And then he puts it up, then puts holes where the X's are, and holds it up on the window. I'm sure this is exactly what Hiroshi Randa did. And the beams of light from the rising sun, Japan again, from the rising sun, casts beams onto the chart in exactly the right places. Because obviously he's holding the paper at exactly the right distance from the chart for these beams of light, like Raiders of the Lost Ark with the map room. Anyway, these lines, they intersect with these dots for something. So obviously it's a clue. They've got to go to these places, whatever. Then they go back and they're fine, they get back out and everything's lovely. So they've got to go to these places. I don't know where they were. I can't remember. Don't care. Then Kentaro says, I'm going to phone my mum. And, they remind him, don't be specific, be vague. Don't tell her where you are. So he says, yeah, I'm going to do that. And then May goes and walks round corner, picks her phone up, takes the number out that the French Monarch woman gave her. Phones up and says, I need to go home or whatever. What do I have to do? And she says, all right, she's in. And then that's the end. A boring, crappy episode. See, the name's there. Look, Tamlin Tomato. It was terrible. Didn't like it at all. Worst one by far. Easily. Let's go back. See if we can land on the Godzilla. The best bit. the best bit of the episode when we saw Godzilla, and it was fleeting. I don't know what's happened to this series. It started off so well, and then it's really gone downhill the last couple of episodes. Maybe it'll pick back up again. Hopefully it will. And it's not about the gay parts of it. Fair enough, it's San Francisco, whatever. It's just the story. It's just there we go. It's just the story is really. I'm bored. It's boring. It's gone like a Disney bloody thing. And this is Apple. Apple's supposed to be better at series than Disney. It's just gone boring. Nothing's happening. I don't really care. This an entire episode spent just looking for an office and shining lights that just happen to be in the right positions. Doesn't make any sense. It's silly. So there we go. So I'm leaving it there. Bored. This one's getting a 2 out of 10, and that's only because we saw Godzilla for a little bit. I'm looking forward to seeing Godzilla -1. I don't know when it's going to be. I'm hoping it's going to appear on streaming soon. But I'm hearing that's really good and better than this. But we're halfway through, I think. I think there's 10 episodes. Let me double check. I think there's 10 episodes. Episodes. Yes, there's 10 episodes in this first season. Will there be a second season? No idea. The next episode, next week, December 15th, is called Terrifying Miracles. Maybe that'll be a bit better. Because it's got the word terrifying in it. And they don't know about the miracles part, but we'll see. Right, so, anyway. We'll leave it there. As I said, 2 out of 10. Didn't like it. Thought it was boring. There we go. Hopefully it'll get better. But, I'm not building my hopes up. If it gets any worse, I'm going to stop reviewing it because I didn't enjoy reviewing this one. So, whatever. Right, we'll leave it there. So, thanks for watching. Wherever you are, look after each other. And until next time, I'll see you there.